Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Last Call BBS, where we are going to check out the remaining games, and I'm going to spend less than half of this episode playing solitaire. That is my solemn promise to you, the viewer. I did figure this out, and I feel a little bit silly. I was so focused in on, look at all the cool, weird tools, how do these all work? I totally missed the fact that in the first cell of the puzzle, there are these arrows you can click on and move the initial seed around. You don't have to just build from what they give you. I don't know, like I did see the arrows in the previous puzzle, but I was just like, oh yeah, it's trying to indicate to us that the seed can grow outward. Like, that's how I understood them at first. I thought they were like tutorial, like, you know, suggestions. And it just didn't occur to me to actually mouse over them until I was trying to figure out if there was a way to like mousing over the thing and it gives you the question mark and I'm like hitting F1 on the seed and maybe it'll give us some information. And when I moused over this, it lit up and I was like, oh, well, sure enough. And if you can just move this thing up, the puzzle's trivial from there. You just have to figure that thing out. I really, really like, I probably have made this plenty clear, but just in case, I really, really like this process of having to just like fiddle with it and touch everything and be like, what, how the hell would this thing even work? It's a very satisfying kind of puzzle solving for me. So we completed a column. The forbidden path is the way of the flesh. The way to immortality is the way of the flesh. Everything's the way of the flesh these days. You must not falter in your resolve. Remember the fear of death that led you here. That's a lot of vertebrae. You must not turn away from the truth. Remember the desire to exist that led you here. You know, I've been led a lot of places by my desire to exist. Most of them are not this metal. Let's see about doing a couple more here, and then we have a couple of other programs to check out yet. Oh, also, I did want to say, while I was trying to that is very gross. I hate the follicles so much. While I was trying to build this out, or while I was trying to launch this up so I could play with it a little bit and try to figure out what was going on, I realized, or I encountered something that I was pretty surprised by. The machine crashed. Not my computer, not Last Call BBS. The Sawayama Power Lance Z5 inside of the thing crashed and I had to reboot it. The commitment to fidelity is really something very impressive. So it doesn't super matter where this is, right? Because we're filling in all of the available space. So like this totally works, I think. Oh. Also, we get die-off commands now. Okay, so I guess, like, start in the direction that has more space to cover, but also spread to the right. And then everything replicate upward, everything replicate downward, and then become gross. It's just like growing up. Oh. Right, except it doesn't create a solid field of flesh when we do it this way. How would we get a tile to look connected? Let me... Oh, this is dye. These are fuse. I see, I see. So if I do a fuse left... Okay, I do want to do that, but I want to do it later. Huh, we can't add space. What if I just do like a seed ignore? Seed do no orders? No, nothing. Oh, right, sorry. It broke because I removed the down command. That was the problem. So, you gotta get there eventually. Okay. So everything fused left, that should, yeah, that causes everything to connect fully. Okay. Now, we turn it all into, seed specialize into skin. skin specialize into disgusting hairy skin. Slightly hairy skin. I don't know why that bothers me more than it just being a big like plate of pure flat skin. Those are both objectively upsetting. Okay, we have a slightly more complicated situation here. So we need some bone and some meat. How do we want to do this? If I... Okay, I can specialize... Sorry, this is not bone, this is flesh. If I... Or it's a type of skin. This stuff is flesh. This... No, it's this. It's this that it wants to turn into. Okay, so hold on. I definitely don't want to do that. So it's like... We have to fill the board. Excuse me. Okay, I think the move is like, what if I seed? We got to play with the die command here, I think. If I do this, and then I do a die command here, is it going to kill all of them? No, it kills what's behind. It kills what's growing behind. Right, because because of the way that we know the specialized spreads, it's like this seed processes the order first, and then it passes up to this seed and fires. Okay. But is there a way to stop it once we've started the die off? Huh. Wait. Why is this not... Shouldn't it be causing a divide to the... an expansion to the right? Why is this order not doing... Oh, because that's to the left. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so this will end everything eventually. However, it is quite eventual. What happens if I have the seeds specialize in the meantime? Nothing. There's no base seed for it to take the orders from. This game is so fascinating to me. All right, let me put this more in the middle of the space because I think we're gonna want to play with this a bit. I dig the metal. The metal's cool. Actually, clicking on it does absolutely nothing. Huh. What am I doing with these neighbor commands? Interesting. So we can direct the command. Let me make here. Let me do. Or we'll just do a normal one of these. Let me put this at the bottom so we have a lot of room to play with. Okay. Now, just have your above neighbor specialize. Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. I don't think I fully understand what's going on here. So when the neighbor button is set to the center, I actually completely changed what the target was. How did I do that? Oh, I see. And if we're specifying a neighbor here, this is not like I'm not telling it to give the order somewhere else. I'm changing what the actual target is. Okay, so I think I understand what to do then. So in any situation where... Let's do this. We'll also expand right, fill the board entirely. Then we fuse upward. And then in any situation where there's a seed and also a seed above it, both of them turn into this. Okay, interesting. So we can issue the order to. So I'm doing this backwards. Oh, weird. It breaks. So in any position where there are two seeds next to each other, the top one, or two seeds vertically stacked, the top one should become flesh, is what we've entered. That is, of course, backwards from what we want. All right, I think I'm starting to get it. So in any situation where there are two seeds next to each other, we want the top one to become this stuff. But we can't do that directly. We have to start by making it the intermediary steps. So this is a problem, though. This row doesn't grow correctly because of this situation. So, all right. That's fixable. So in any situation where there is... Sorry, that's backwards. Where there is one of these gross lumps of flesh with a seed above it, the thing... Wait, sorry, this should be the seed. Right, yeah, okay. In a situation like this, the seed also becomes one of these. Cool. And then we can run this instruction. All of these morph into this stuff. And then all of the original seeds morph into the flesh. Huh. Wait, why does that happen? Oh, it's occurring way too early. Why is that happening so quickly? Can I enter just like dead commands for pacing? Like just don't do anything? And then all of these transmogrify? No, it doesn't work like that. It just skips dead commands. Well, let me look at that again. So we specialize the seeds into the flesh. It specializes this first, and then it tries to specialize everything. The thing is, the specialize is happening even before the fuse. And any command that we put in here runs forever once it has started to run. Like new seeds that are spawning still try to do the upward fuse move. Well, we could exactly reverse the thing that we're seeing here. The other thing we could do is, because of the way we have this meat expanding, we could go any seed that has one of these things above it should specialize into flesh. Oh, is this not the right sorry, no, it should specialize into this, right? Yeah, that's that stuff. So don't do this. Any seed that has... Bloody hell. Any seed that has that stuff above it should... but then the other command is gonna write... The other command is going to run and make my life a living nightmare. The fact that there's no wait command definitely makes this a little tricky. So we can't use... Like at the end we have this situation going on, but this command will start running as soon as it can start running, right? So if I do this, yeah, we're gonna get false positives all over the place. We're going to get bad results. How do I make it do just this? We were able to get the proportions inverted, so I could just run this the other way. I think if we ran this exactly backwards from how we're running it now. So if I make this a downward instead. No, this isn't quite going to work. I was like, well, we can maybe make it so that if we just do anytime the red meat, the red flesh, is above a seed, it turns into this other stuff. But unfortunately, we do have an intermediary step where that formation occurs. So it'll create a bad result here, and then our whole machine's going to look weird. And you wouldn't want it to look weird, would you? Let me make sure I'm right about that. No, that actually does work. Why does this transformation not try to fire here? Huh. I don't know. Well... are we able to do the kind of transformations that I want? Like if we do this, it's not going to let me change the skin back to flesh. But here, all I could do is change it to this, which is going to cause it to become the red slab, the great red slab. Huh. Part of the problem is I'm still working on divining some of the rules. A thing that I definitely don't fully understand. Well, I guess it's just because you can't specialize a seed directly into one of the higher forms of flesh. So you end up having to do this. How would we make that not the case? The other thing we could try to do, if there was a way to do this, and I don't know that there is we could try to get the initial seed to expand out in two directions. No, because like there's no way to use a die-off to split it into two seeds that both receive orders, right? Orders always propagate from the initial seed. I think. I think that's my understanding of what's going on here. Huh. Okay, I have a new plan. Let's start over. This button does that, right? Yeah. Okay. Expand right. Then yeah, this is totally gonna work. We walk it up the tree here to this stuff. And then we do... Is that gonna bond correctly? I have no idea. In any situation where there is flesh... No, we can't spawn a lesser type. I was gonna try to just spawn a seed up from that. But of course that doesn't work. Why would I think that would work? How do you get a change not to propagate across the entire... Alright, we'll come back to this one. Spent 20 minutes in the weird flesh game. couple of times a day. You know, it's good for you. So what do we have with Chip Wizard Professional and Juicebox Arcade? Let's go for this. Your RAM? Yeah, it's okay. ROM also okay. This game is to be used in Japan only. You are committing a crime. This one took me a while to find. You could import the home console version of Hack Match, but I wanted the full arcade experience, like you were really in a Japanese game center. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty blown away to find out that you could emulate a full arcade machine on a Sawayama Power Lance. I would have loved to have mentioned it in my sales pitch if I could, but of course it wasn't exactly 100% legal, and most people in the US hadn't heard of Juicer its games before either. So this was a cool thing I mostly kept to myself and my BBS friends. I like that the little machine here is like very obviously hearkening to the little the visual representation of the hacking stuff in what's that game they made? Exapunks, the other hacking game from Zachtronics. Insert coin. View controls. What is the insert coin button? Okay, it's F1. So WASD and JK are my... Alright. Do we have... Sadly, we don't have the ROMs for any of this other stuff. 2x video size? Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna throw some credits in there right quick. Excuse me? Alright. So, shit, I don't know any Japanese at all. I mean, I know a bunch. I don't know any written Japanese. I know a handful of spoken words. So, match 4 of a kind to blow them up? What's happening in that top right image, though? I guess if you match with those things that look like bombs, they blow up all of the things of that color everywhere, maybe? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty fun. So is this yeah, this is like what's it called? The money exchanger game. So grab red. Can I grab... okay, there's a button that pushes stuff backward. Oh. Huh. I guess I didn't understand what we were supposed to be doing. Here's a question. No. Shoot. I did not mean to do that. I want to reset it. How do I... Well, I mean, we'll die in a second here, but there is a reset juice CPU. Sorry, let me get back up here. I guess they have to be horizontal lines? I had just kind of assumed it would work either way. I mean, it shows in here, that example in the top right I thought was really strongly implying that it was just any 4 things of the same symbol touching each other, but clearly not. Oh, what the bottom one is showing is that if some things have been made into garbage and you make a match, all of the things that are adjacent to the match ungarbageify, which is a relatively common way for this to work. Okay, that time it did work. Okay, I don't understand the function of those at all. But we can make some headway here. Okay, score more than 4 to actually perform an attack. I see. Move that over, grab this. Yep, it ungarbages them. Okay. Swap that in and then drop this here. Ha! Take a very small amount of damage. How would I drop these? Yeah, like this. Okay, combos. Combos are good. In art as in life. That's gonna be pretty great, right? I need... Shit. Here, let's just ungarbage a couple of these real fast. Take that, blank mister. Out here blanking all my data stuff. Oh shit, it's the S++ version of Ivy. That's a very high rating, I assume. Open me up a little bit of space. So I need to get better at comboing. Comboing seems to be really valuable. What am I really wish I understood how these worked. Oh, that's your attack pattern. Okay, I see how we're doing things here. So... Oh, okay. Give me this. I'll put it here. Then give me this, and I'll put it there. There we go. Big combo. And then we need to de-garbagify some of this stuff. That's a highly technical term there, de-garbagify. Yeah, I just need to break some things. No time for good plays now. These are survival plays. Okay, it's something. It's something. Shit. I was using that. Oh no. I really would love to know how the mines work. If we can figure that out, we could probably do a lot better here. The good news is I have more credits. Who would have thought? Alright, we'll just make that exact same attack again. Pretty good. It's pretty easy to score like one hit at a time. I mean, I guess the image showed the two mines touching. Okay, you have to touch two mines of the same type together. It's an intentionally ambiguous direction screen because it shows them connected in a situation where also there are four things of the same color together, which gives a false impression of what is happening. Let me just make a little move over here. I need to do a better job of unscrewing the blanks. Get a couple of them figured out. Oh no! That's actually very bad. What is my plan? Here's the thing. I'm not great at Money Puzzle Exchanger. It's possible that I've literally never won a game of it. That might be the case. Okay, so put something on top of there. Flip that. Hooray! Damage. So this is actually going to be really good. Just terrible news. Really terrible news. Oh, sure. What if I didn't lose? I guess that's worth considering. Just trying to, like, unblank a couple of these, but actually remarkably difficult to do while also moving quickly. I could use another bomb of a particular color. I guess actually I just need to blow this up because I need to have room to dump stuff. Okay, I was going to use that. I am just phenomenally bad at dealing with any level of disruption to my plan. This game is actually kind of hard. I'm sure like the actual abstract puzzle game players in the audience are like, no, it's not. She's just bad at it. Let's pull this over here. I don't know, just cause an explosion. Cause a ruckus is the thing. How would I... Here, let me just make some space here real quick so that we can do this to ungarbagify some of those so that we can hopefully maybe actually kill them eventually. Okay, cool. Now I just need to buy a little bit of time, so we're gonna detonate some stuff just to push back the tide a little bit. Inconvenient. Yeah. I pressed the wrong button there. That was supposed to be a deliver and then a switch. Okay, that helps a lot. That's just good damage. I could really use another bomb. Very inconveniently timed, actually. I was doing better. You have to make quite a lot of good matches here, and as you can tell, that's something I really struggle with. Okay, so we can create a situation where we can get a decent yellow match going. Well, we can do that at least. Keeping stuff high up off of the high up on the screen is not really probably a long-term strategy. Damn it, that's very poorly timed. Okay, if I do this and pull this over here at least and degarbagate one of those. Oh, this is actually really cool. That's a big hit. It's nice to get a big hit every once in a while. Take the trash. Just kind of like doing whatever while I wait for a situation to present itself. Because I do not see them naturally. Wait, what am I doing? I need to swap this. And put that there. I do not see a lot of opportunity. Yeah. Oh, all right. I'm going to give this, I mean, you know, whatever. I put in 9 credits. We'll just play till the credits run out. This is a tougher one for me, though. I'm much less, well, I was going to say I'm much less intuitively good at this one than I am at a lot of the basic puzzle stuff. But actually, I don't know if that's true. I'm certainly not good at this. There's no arguing with that. So I want, here, we want to do like, never mind. Here we go. That's a reasonable match. Let's just break some stuff. Let's kill the garbage. Hooray! A little bit of damage. Oh, it's very bad, actually. Oh, I did not realize that that was a thing she could do. She can, also, what a terrible misplay. She can transform a thing even if we're holding it, as long as we're in the column where the transformation occurs. That's rough, dude. Okay, that's a little something. I'm a little uncomfortable with the noises. You know, I know what these developers were thinking. This is... Oh, no, wait, no, it's not quite a combo. I was gonna say, that's pretty good. That's terrible news, really. Can I get to one more? Here we go. Let me just fill time a little bit here. What I need is a spacer. There we go. So we can swap that in like that. Little tiny bits of damage here and there as I desperately try to figure out. Yeah, bad news. I am getting absolutely humiliated here. Now I wish I had tried harder in the thing that actually would have mattered in my college, which was getting good at competitive Japanese puzzle games. The time I spent in class has not, in the end, been worth very much at all, it turns out. Okay, so... stay in school, kids, obviously. There we go, that's pretty good. Ooh, what I would really like to do... I was not thinking I had enough there. I was trying to set up a combo where I would break the purple blocks and then drop the blue into a combo situation, and I just did not really think it through. I do need to actually clear some of these. Maybe it would be a good idea to... Ah, damn it. That is exactly where I was about to do a thing. Okay, I can do the swap while I'm just holding a block. I should probably do that more often. There is no universe where I'm recovering from that situation. All right, all of that was just practice play. Here we go. This is the real one. Obviously. Ooh, okay, what I actually want to do here is pull you up, drop that down. Look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, what if I just got an incredibly lucky setup and then I didn't have to get good at the game at all? Have we ever considered that? Ah, damn it. Well, shit. Okay, okay. Got most of this functional again. Yeah, the problem is we get to this part and I'm like panicked and I don't know how to keep up the pressure. I can keep making matches here and there, but it's very difficult for me to keep doing damage. Especially at the rate that I was doing damage, which I guess wasn't really that high, but... There we go, combo! Well, that's extremely bad, is what that is. Yeah, what am I doing here? This is no strategy. Alright. Nope, not that. This button, the leave button. That's pretty cool. I need to get way better at that. I'm currently very bad at it. What was the other thing? Chip Wizard Professional. Connect in A to out A and in B to out B. Use N-type silicon, which sits below the metal layer, to pass one signal under the other. Huh. So, I mean, it's not exactly rocket science. Oh, I dig this very much. And then just like normal metal for the other thing? Oh, I have to actually undo. I have to actually like connect them. It's not enough to draw them in the tile where they would connect. Oh. Huh. So you can't connect that directly. How do I... What is E? Oh, I see. It creates... Via dot, or via empty box is not clear to me that that's a three-dimensional connection. But that totally works. So do this, and then do that. And good. We wanted in A and... Oh, there's no... Okay, this is some actual electrical engineering stuff, I think. Plus V, I don't know. Voltage, the power coming in, I don't know what this means. I told you I got started in sales at Sawayama and also spent some time in marketing. I did enjoy my work, but after a while I wanted to try out something new. I'd always been a tinkerer of sorts, and the idea of working on the engineering side was starting to appeal to me. Instead of only selling the machines, I could contribute to their design. Yeah, that's not really how companies work generally. Problem was, I really had no idea where to start. Luckily, during my time in Japan, I'd made another friend who worked in engineering at a small firm that was owned by Sawayama. His name was Daisuke Don Iwashiro. And then that's just where that entry ends. Okay, well, design verified. I did it. Build an AND gate. Y'all, it has been a fucking minute. So out X should be high when both in A and in B are high. You'll need to create an NPN transistor by drawing P-type silicon over N-type silicon. So how does that... Okay, it literally won't let me do that. I'm gonna... Is this is the last program that we have to run? Yeah, this is seven things that we downloaded from Zachtronics, plus the basic solitaire game, I think is everything. I just realized if there is another thing, we should be downloading it, right? But I'm pretty sure we have everything. I'm going to embarrass myself with this chip wizard. I know that. Yep, okay, 7. There was probably a way to like gracefully terminate session, wasn't there? Well, whatever. Okay, so an NPN transistor. Man, I did not go to school to work on the metal, and then also, like I said, most of the stuff I learned at school was not very useful. Has not turned out to be very useful. So, okay, these both sit on that lower silicon layer. Drawing P-type silicon over N-type silicon. Does the word over here mean something different than I would expect? Because this is just going to connect... Like, if I do that... Yeah, I can't. It doesn't let me run the silicon on the metal layer, which you wouldn't want, right? Question mark? I generally work a little further from the metal than this. We'll come back to this. Now we know what everything is. I kind of want to, if I'm being honest, I kind of want to go back to Dungeons and Diagrams. I was having a very great deal of fun with that. There are so many of these. There's no way you're intended to complete all of them, right? All right, so we got a couple of 7s here. We know these are open. So let's start with that. All of the monsters have to be in dead ends. All of the dead ends have a monster. So we know that's the case. There must be a block between these two monsters as well. If this is open, like those have to be blocks, right? That means these are empty. There is one open space in each of the 7 rows. But it can't be here, right? Because this thing has to be in a dead end, which means that is the only open space adjacent to it. In fact, we know this about every monster, right? That all of the spaces adjacent to it must be blocks after you have one space that is guaranteed to be open. And we also know that there's no 2x2s. So this being open would, if this was open, that would be a forbidden shape. And if this was closed, there would have to be a monster here. So that's also closed. Same is true for this then. Yeah. Those shapes are forbidden either way. This is the same. Okay, we know that's open, which means this must also be open. And if that's open, well, we don't know what shape the path is. It might be the case that it veers off somewhere, so I can't mark anymore. In fact, we know either this or this is open because there's only one more block in this column, which means this isn't open because there should only be, no wait, it doesn't mean that. There could absolutely be two open, or two, yeah, there could be 2 openings off of this. Although this can't be one, actually. Yeah, so I guess we know that, and then we know this. This already has all of its blocks. This already has all of its blocks. This must be a block to prevent there from being a dead end. If this was a block, yeah. In fact, no, those are both blocks. Wait, shoot. That can't be right, can it? Isn't there a single contiguous path? Ooh, did I screw this up? Because it sure looks like I have. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not necessarily one contiguous path. I thought that's what we were told, though. So one of these is a block, one of these is a block, this is open. No, I've screwed this up properly. Yeah, okay. Reset solution, please. I donked it. I made some bad assumptions somewhere. So let's approach this again, but more carefully. I think this is valid, though, right? Yeah, these two have to be in dead ends. And that means this is also valid. And that means this is true and this is true. I think all of that stuff is solid. Frankly, I think it's all solid. And clearly, that's not the case. Show me the rules again real quick. Alright, every empty space in a map is part of either a treasure room or a hallway. Right, the deal with the treasure rooms. Every monster is in a dead end. Every dead end contains a monster. All empty spaces connect into a single contiguous shape. That is true. Okay. Hallways are always one space wide. So yeah, it is always the case that there is only one empty tile adjacent to a monster. Which does in fact mean that these are all walls. And if these are all walls, this does have to be empty. Oops. Right, because otherwise we would have stuff not connected. This must be a wall because it can't be the case that both of these are walls. So one of these two is, and then also this one. Is the logic I was using, like this logic is sound, right? The logic that says these types of corners can't be empty spaces. Yes, I think so. Yeah, that seems right. Okay. So 3 of these 4 spaces are walls. Can't be this one, which means it is all 3 of those. Because if it's this one, again, we have a spot where the shape breaks off. That tells us that these are all empty. One of these is a path that connects these 2 currently empty areas, and it has to be this one. Because if this is a wall, then that's a dead end that would need to have a monster in it. So that makes that the case. Then 2 of these 3 are blocked. 1 of these 3, 1 of these 2. And we know it's not, we know the empty hallway that connects these things is not just like straight across here, because there has to be 1 more block in this row, there has to be 1 more block in this row. Sorry, these are both blocks. That's absolutely known. So it's this and that, or this and that, and it can't be, this can't be a wall, because if it was, then that would have to be a monster. There we go. That was better. Every once in a while, I can win at something. Can you tell? My poor pride. Are these monsters? I mean, I guess they have daggers. Okay, we have not a lot of like really easy stuff to drop here. I guess we know this is a... No, we don't. This doesn't have to be a wall, because it could be the case that like that's a valid position for those 2 monsters with a blank space between them. I mean, obviously not set up that way, but you know what I mean. So it feels like we don't know very much about this puzzle at all. In fact, 1 of these 2 is an opening, and 1 of these 2 is a wall. Same deal over here. But that's not very much information. Okay, how about this? 6 of these 7 tiles are walls, which means that the treasure room definitely doesn't extend into this column. So it's these 3 columns or these 3. That's something. Unfortunately, we don't know where these 6 walls are at all, I think. And while we know the columns for this treasure chest, we don't have any idea of the rows. Aside from, obviously, must contain the chest. Well, okay, now here's something we do know. This has to be a wall. No, it doesn't. Because the treasure room could be in this 3x3. And then... Yeah, it could be like this, right? And there's a path coming in from here, and then... There are too many legal possibilities on this puzzle. What do we... I'm having a really hard time getting started here. So we don't know which tile adjacent to this monster is the opening. Could be one of these, making the rest of the blocks pretty obvious, but it still could be that. We have a similar kind of deal down here where we have a bunch of monsters and we have no idea how to surround them. The fact that this row has only 1 block in it is like interesting. I don't know what to make of it though. So we know that this row contains 3 of the cells in the treasure room, because this is the row the treasure is in. How is it legal for it to only have one wall in it? The answer is that this is a hallway mostly. And that's really challenging, actually. Because, like, it could be the case that, like, something like that is perfectly valid. This is the 3x3 treasure room, and then that's the one block. Right? Like, this is a totally legal arrangement that results in this thing having only one wall in it. And like, so is this where the treasure room is entered from one of these? I guess actually. No, this is not a legal setup because it doesn't allow for the it does require there to be 2 blocks in this row. We can't move the treasure room walls up. We could move them here though. Yeah, like this is still not information. There's still too many legal possibilities, I think. Which means we just don't really have very much to go on. Here, we're allowed to just sort of poke our heads forward here. The coronation of the Lich. Who doesn't love to coronate a Lich? All right, we know this. We don't know that. This could totally just be a hallway with these 2 as dead ends. What else do we know? Well, either this or that. Maybe both. Yeah, I guess that we don't really have a whole lot of information there either. The treasure chest. So we know this space is part of the treasure room. It could be like this whole area is valid squares, but all of the valid treasure rooms contain that tile. Same deal here, actually. So that's something. Actually, because this prevents us from moving the bounds of the treasure room down very far. In fact, there has to be a wall here, doesn't there? Because otherwise... No, there doesn't have to be a wall here. This could be... Well, I was thinking this could be an approach. The treasure could be in the bottommost row. But it can't actually be a way that you would enter the room from. Because if it was... Yeah, it necessitates there being a path adjacent to the treasure room from more than one tile. So I think this is actually true. And that does give us something to work with. So that means that all of these tiles are for sure part of the treasure room. What else does it give us is the question. It's pretty easy for like these 2 to be blocks and that one to be a block. I guess actually, yeah, we know the positions of the blocks adjacent to these skeletons. And this has to be a block because if it wasn't a block, it would be a monster. These are also, yeah, like that. That's a thing. So there's only allowed to be one more wall in this row. Which means if the treasure room were these 9 tiles, there would have to be walls all beneath it. That can't be the case. So, it can't be this either. Yeah, the treasure room has to include the bottom row, because otherwise we have too many walls in the bottom row. So that means this has to be a wall, and I think this is our treasure room, which means that has to be a wall, and also these. This, right? That must be. Which means these are all walls. That can't be a wall then. Not that that's terribly meaningful. This must be a wall. Still doesn't quite tell us where the treasure room here is, but it's close. I guess actually, the treasure room must include these tiles because there can only be one more wall in that column. I think that's the case. So this or this could be an opening. Can it be here? Yeah, like the path can go through a treasure room. Yeah. The opening that's in this row cannot be here, though. That's definitely wall. And that means this is wall. Okay, we're getting there. One of these two is certainly open, and the other one is wall, which means this is also wall. Because we have to satisfy the column. So there's a hallway here, and also two wall pieces. We don't know anything about where those are. I guess we know this, because we have to complete this row. So that means the path up has to be right here, because there's only one wall available in this column. And that means that has to be the case, which means that is... Yeah, there we go. I do love a lich. The Demon Marquis of Lust. Is that really... Which of these things is supposed to be inspiring the lust? Because it's not working. Okay, these are open for sure. Only one wall in this row means that the open space adjacent to this monster is in one of those two tiles, and these are all open. So that's useful. The sixes are not quite useful. I guess we know the rows that are involved in this treasure room now. So the one block that's in this column is down here somewhere. And this can't be a dead end, so that has to be open. Oh, I guess, hold on, I'm being silly. I said we know that these three rows are involved in this treasure room, but that's totally not necessarily the case. I was just thinking, because look, it's all hemmed in. But one of these groups of three empty spaces could absolutely be part of the treasure room. That is not real information. I'm misinforming myself. I said that like it was a weird thing, but actually, I guess that's mostly how it happens, isn't it? A lot of people work very hard to misinform themselves. Okay, we have the same situation here that we have in the top row, where there's one block and it must be either here or here for the monster's sake. So we know that then. That tells us some things about the treasure room. Well, no, it doesn't. It's almost information about the treasure room. once we start figuring out treasure room stuff, we're going to get some places. So 6 of those 7 tiles are walls. 5 of those 6. Yeah, we have a considerable number of places here where we almost know something. Very nearly. So 3 of these 4 spaces are walled. 2 of these 3 spaces are walled. It absolutely could be 2 of them in this row. Neither row nor column gives us much insight about the particular predicament that these monsters find themselves in. Okay, it is interesting that there are 4 walls left in the 5 spaces in this column. Because one of these 2 has to be blocked, and that's going to necessitate its neighbor being blocked as well, right? To prevent the 2x2 problem from occurring. If this is a wall and this isn't a wall, then we have a dead end that doesn't have a monster in it. If this is a wall and this isn't a wall, we either have a dead end that has no monster in it, or this is an empty space, and then we have this, yeah. So, okay. So we know then that exactly one of these 2 spaces is a wall, which means all 3 of these spaces are. I think that's right. That tells us that this space and this space are part of the treasure room. We don't know which rows yet, but we know which columns. So, okay, we know that the treasure room is not this 3x3. It has to be either here or here. The treasure chest is in either the top row or the bottom row. Which means that in each of these little column segments, there is exactly 1 block. This column only having 1 block in it means all of these are open. This column has walls in those 2 spaces. They're very obviously blocks, right? And in fact, it's true here. This one also has blocks in all of these spaces down here, because exactly one of those must be a wall. That means we know the dead end positions for these monsters. Adorable little monsters. Oh, there can only be 1 more wall in this row, so this has to be the row that closes off the treasure room. Yeah, that is absolutely true. Okay, and then in order to encase it, the thing is, we still don't know where this is closed. Like, it could be all of this is shut. Well, I guess actually, I was going to say, like, this could be the wall that makes the dead end for this demon, but this space can't be open, because if it was, the only way to make a path away from the treasure room would be right next to the treasure room, which I think we have been assured does not work that way. So all of those spaces have to be open. In addition, this has to be closed for a large number of reasons. And actually, these both have to be closed as well for this row, which means that has to be open, or the path dies, which means we can close this row out as well. Yeah, there we go. I really do like this one. Dungeons and Diagrams is great. Okay, we don't unlock the next row unless I can figure out the dais of the sun god. The sun and I have never gotten along. This feels like just a grim continuance of that relationship. Did we learn anything useful? Oh, okay, hold on a second. This column's actually really interesting, because there can only be 2 walls in this column. Is that enough information to actually get something? At least one of these two is a wall. So that's something. Between these two columns, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 walls just to close in the monsters. So there's one extra wall somewhere. That's not quite meaningful. Not by itself. All right, we're fairly sure of that. Unless, yeah, right? This could be the hallway and then it drops down into a treasure room that's like in that position. Most of the legal configurations of this room involve this space being blocked, but not all of them. That's a problem we're running into a ton here. It's like we almost have enough to do some kind of process of elimination in a lot of different spots. Curse you, sun god. It's like a god that gives you cancer, you know? Who is on board for this? So 5 of these 6 tiles are walls. Does that tell me anything? Okay, I guess it tells me that there is only one opening here for these monsters. There's at most one opening. But there absolutely could be no openings, right? Well, right, because like that is, in theory, totally valid. Something like that. But then where does the open part go? Because there couldn't be another dead end down here. So, okay, yeah, what we do know from this is that the open tile must be adjacent to one of the monsters, which means these 3 are in fact walls. It's not like a huge amount of information, but it is something. It narrows down some of this stuff. It doesn't need to be the case that the opening in this column is adjacent to the monster, because it could be there. No, wait. But it can't be there. So first of all, we know that the treasure room can't extend into this column. And secondly, if it was like this and this was the open space, then there can't be one open tile anywhere else on this column, because it would have to have a monster in it. So we know that these are all walls, which means that we also know this. And since we know that, we can do this. Damn it. I still don't expect it to overwrite. Okay, so that happens. This can't be open, or it would create a 2x2 situation, which is really interesting because that gives us another column. So these 3 have to be the treasure room columns, right? You can't have a hallway just running adjacent to the treasure room. So this is part of it, which I think necessitates these. I think so. And then if one of these 2 tiles is empty, this must be wall. Yes. Okay. It still could be this as the treasure room. It still could be this as the treasure room. It can't be this. So I guess we know that these tiles are all part of the treasure room as well, which makes that the last wall in this row. Okay, these can't be part of the treasure room, because if they are, then there's only room for 3 blocks in this row. So 2 of these blocks are... Wait, no, that's not... There's room for exactly 1 block left. And actually, it has to be here. So these are absolutely the treasure. What am I talking? I had that exactly backwards. Those do have to be the treasure room. I guess I don't know that these are all walls though. One of them, this one could not be a wall. It could be the case that that's hallway. That's the only one that can be true of though. And then up here, it may be the case that one of these is open. Hard to say. So like if these two are open, then we close off the area behind this guy. If not, if I was going to say these are, like if I was going to say this is the dead end that this monster creates, I would have to block off both of these, which I actually can't do. And this is not good enough because this would have a monster in it. So actually we do know these have to be the opening and those have to be walls. We're getting there. So we have one more box, one more wall in this column, two more here, one more here, two more here, one more here, and one more here. Okay, this can't be an opening for this monster, right? Because if that's the case, then those are the closed parts. And then the path has to run here at the very least to give you a connection to that space. And then... No, actually, I guess that totally does work, doesn't it? And then this is a separate... Yeah. Shoot. So that is a possibility. And then obviously it's not a big deal for the actual empty spot to be here or here, especially if you get there by wrapping the path around the north side of these monsters. Okay, well, I guess we know this, right? No, we don't. This is 100% valid. No, this is not 100% valid because these can't both be open. In fact, that is... No, it has to be here. Because if it's here, we're creating a dead end. Yeah. Okay. So then this has to be walled to prevent us from creating a 2x2. All of those are walls, and these two are walls. There we go. That one took me a little bit of doing, but hey, we loaded up some more diagrams. You know what I love is drawing dungeons in the diagrams. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We didn't really take much of a look at the circuit designer, and we will. We totally will. When you come back next time, tomorrow, that is probably how we will start. It is not the most compelling of the games to me, and also, I am afraid of looking pretty ignorant while trying to work with it. I don't know anything about electrical engineering, y'all, or frankly, mechanical engineering. My all of my knowledge about computers is firmly in the theoretical realm, the software. But I'm going to give it a shot. So come back next time to laugh at me, maybe, or to rejoice with me. Really, they're both good, and we'll see you then.